Hello everybody, Dead Spikes here. Today I'm making a video talking about my favorite build with Sword and Devour. Anybody who can tell me where I currently am will get the pinned comment of the video. Let's get into the video. Alright, here we go. I'm going to showcase my build here. We are on the Ogre encounter of Shattered Throne, which is a pain in the butt to do with the group, and it's also a pain in the butt to do solo. But I'm going to show you guys my solo strat with my Devour build. Just mostly to show off the build. I've been using this build for probably over a year non-stop. I love this build so much. It does everything in the game with ease. Almost no problem at all, as long as you play it right. Definitely took a lot of practice and me to get everything down about the build, but once you got her down, it is easy mode. I honestly thought Devour was broken when I first read it. I was like, well, that's crazy. You fully heal after every single kill. Oh, we missed the hit there. We're in kind of rough shape. We're going to proc ourselves with our melee there. There we go. Now we got our Devour back, ready to rock. Try to get a Wither Horde kill here quick. There we go. Got our Devour to proc. Get our last charge with light here, and let's start our damage phase. Shoot out these orbs a little bit here. I guess we're gonna tank that one. Hit him with our Nova Bomb, and then we'll just go ham on him. Come on. Let's finish it. There we go. There is Vorgith, which is the Ogre encounter of Shattered Throne, soloed, no problem with my Devour build. Let's check out some other stuff. Alright, we are up to the final encounter of Shattered Throne here. I figured I might as well showcase the build here, see how quick and easy this is as well. So, let's just get into it. Try to pull all three of them together, hit a nice Nova on them, let them eat some of that damage for a minute. Now they're out of here for a bit. Get some kills here. Should be back any minute. There they are. Got one of them ready to be popped off. Grab our charge with light here. Get out of there. There we go. We got one down. Go after the other two. There we go. Now we should just be able to finish off the boss here real quick. Alright. Missed my first shot. There we go. Witches are annoying to hit. There we go. One solid shot and we're done here. Woo! And there is both encounters of Shattered Throne of this build, actually. We can do a little bit of other gameplay, though. Alright, so we're just going to finish this up with a little bit of Altar of Sorrow gameplay here. The main idea of this build is to make it so you can face tank up in the front of enemies, and you can also just deal a bunch of damage while you're up there as well. And getting lots of Nova Bombs is pretty nice, too. I mean, you can see how quick I get my Nova Bomb up just by doing some Altar of Sorrow here. As long as I'm getting kills frequently, I'm going to be getting my Nova Bomb pretty quickly while killing some Nightmares at the same time. There we go. We're already a quarter charge there, and I don't even have high intellect. This is a very low intellect setup I have going for me. But yeah, see how I took no damage there at all? I mean, they're not even hurting me. This isn't a very high priority event or anything, but still. Such a nice, clean build. Alright, let's go over everything I have running for me now. Before we finish going over this build, I had a look at my sub to non-sub ratio, and it looks like 95% of the people that watch my videos are still not subscribed. So if you've been enjoying my content so far, please make sure to smack that subscribe button and turn on those bell notifications. Alright, so here's our build right in front of us on our Warlock Devour. Now, Devour is bottom tree void right here. I always make sure to have Burst Glide on. It helps with that little momentum boost. Empowering Rift and Healing Rift's up to you. I was running Empowering Rift just for that little extra damage on that final boss of Shattered Throne there, but Healing Rift's normally what I run. Definitely Vortex Grenade. I love Vortex Grenade. It's good at getting multiple kills when you're killing trash enemies. But there you go. That's the subclass right there. As for weaponry, normally always use Izanagi's Burden because it's gonna fill that gap that the sword can't. It's gonna get that long range, very high damage is what the Izanagi's here for. So I do love to run that as my kinetic, but sometimes I will run Wither Horde. Like on that Ogre, I had Wither Horde on. I actually didn't use it correctly in the footage there, but normally I'm going to pop the Wither Horde on the boss type enemy I'm going to be swording. That's going to give me that little bit of extra damage that the sword doesn't have. So Wither Hording with that sword is going to be doing way more damage. Those are the two kinetics I pretty much switched to. I really don't use anything else if I'm running this build, to be honest, unless I'm doing bounties or something. For my energy, this can be swapped out a lot. Unfortunately, I can't use what I used to. I used to use Recluse non-stop here because it filled such a perfect role here. It was a close range void weapon. There isn't a whole lot of other close range void weapons anymore. Some of the fusion rifles are great. I do like to use the new Glacial Chasm from the Dawning event is very good here. Also, the Garden of Salvation fusion rifle is decent here as well. Otherwise, 9 Hunger, you can see I used it on the Ogre encounter. I popped it out quick to make sure my Devour didn't run out on a long range kill. It's nice for that. This spot's 100% customizable, up to you. Depends on which weapon you want to run, but please try to make sure that it is a void weapon. Unfortunately, Deafening Whisper is not one of those weapons you want to use. For some reason, it does not proc Nezarac's Sin. But every other void weapon I have not had a problem with yet. As for your power weapon, this is where your main damage is, and I love the Steel Sibyl. It's always been my favorite sword. This is my 3rd variant of it because my old one got sunsetted, which I had like 40,000 kills on. But I run Steel Sibyl all the time. Another great sword is the Guillotine. You can run these two swords perfectly with this build. You can also run Black Talon cool enough, and Black Talon's going to give you that good long range damage with a sword as well. You just can't run an exotic elsewhere. So Talon is actually a very good weapon for here, and Talon has very great boss damage weapon too if you can't get close enough to just straight sword nonstop. The Talon is a very good weapon to use with this build as well. But you need the Void for sure to rock with your Nezarac's Sin, and the second most important part is that you have Tireless Blade. You're absolutely going to want Tireless Blade. If you can, try to get Whirlwind with it as well. It's going to give you more boss damage, but Tireless is going to make it so you get sword ammo every other kill you get with your sword, which is going to help you have that sword ammo for way longer. If you want to know the absolute god roll on the sword for this build, this is for both Guillotine and the Sibyl. You're going to want Jagged Edge, Swordmaster's Guard, Tireless Blade, and Whirlwind Blade. That's the roll you want for the perfect sword for this build right here. Next, we will be going over armor. Now, armor is something I started doing this season. The previous seasons, I never really messed around with my mods much. I was just kind of happy with what I ran. But now I've really min-maxed, especially since I like running solo dungeons a lot with this build. I definitely went out and I did everything I could to make sure that this build is top-notch. So for my helmet, you have to use Nezarac's Sin. That is a must. This helmet right here is crazy. It's going to make it so void damage kills increase ability, energy, recharge rate. And this works for your super, your rift, your grenade, and your melee, which is just crazy. So every single kill you get on this build is going to bring back your ability energy quicker. That's why I get my grenade back in like 2 to 3 kills. My super is only like 15 kills and I already have it back. Even my rifts are back very quickly. This helmet right here is what really makes this build so good. For my helmet, I'm running Sniper Rifle Finder, Sword Ammo Finder, and Lucent Blade. Lucent Blade is such a great mod. It's going to give you that 35% extra damage boost when you're charged with light. And if you get the boosted version, which is what I have right there, it's going to make it so your power attack charges quicker for those boss damage phases. That's what I have on my helmet right there. It's an Arc Nezarac's Sin. For my gauntlets, it doesn't matter which pair of gauntlets you have. I like running this solar kind right here. And gauntlets is really the smallest thing that matters to this build, but I'm just running Sniper Rifle Dexterity with Supercharge to give me a few more stacks of Charge with Light, or the little uses I use here and there. Also, another great mod is Abyssal Charge. I did play around with that. That's something else you could use over Supercharge for this slot for sure. Abyssal Charge is decent. Next, we have our chest piece. Now, this one's kind of important on how you make it. Resilience is the highest, most important stat for this build because recovery doesn't matter at all. Your discipline doesn't really matter. Your intellect really don't matter. Your strength don't really matter because you're getting your abilities back so quickly. They aren't doing much. So what you're really going to want is high resilience. You can sit there and face tank longer before dying. So whenever I have an extra slot to put a mod on for the first slot, I'm definitely going to put resilience on and try to get that up. My ideal armor for this build would have 100 resilience and maybe max mobility you can get to. Those are the two most important stats, is mobility and resilience with this build. Next, I'm running Concussive Dampener because that helps out against a lot of bosses or a lot of like taken enemies deal a lot of area of effect damage. It's definitely going to help you with taking a little bit more damage. Sniper Rifle Reserves for those extra Izanagi shots. Taking charge to make sure I get charged with light whenever I pick up an orb. Every other sword kill is going to charge me with light right there, so that's why it's pretty great. As long as it's a Masterwork sword. You're definitely going to want to Masterwork your sword for this build as well. For our boots, I am running Sword Scavenger and Sniper Rifle Scavenger just to make sure I have a lot more ammo upkeep. Quick Charge to make it so I can switch between my sword quicker. And it's also powering my Lucent Blade on my helmet. You don't have to use Quick Charge here, but I'm using it for two effects. I'm getting my sword out quicker, and I am getting my Lucent Blade upgrade on my helmet. It's also not a terrible idea to run double sword scavenger if you would like here. It's going to make sure that you have a little bit of extra ammo. If you find yourself running out of sword ammo for any reason, I would definitely maybe switch that to double sword scavenger and maybe your helmet to double sword finder. But if you're alright with ammo, running the split between the sniper will help you with those extra Izanagi ammo. And then finally, our Bond. This is probably the most important mod on this build, Protective Light. It is so good. If you haven't tried this mod out yet, when you're charged with light, it's basically going to make it so you cannot die. It's going to make it so when you get to the red, it's going to keep you alive a little bit longer rather than just insta-dying. So this mod right here is going to help you face tank so much better. So if you do not have it yet, definitely try to get it from Gunsmith. Otherwise, wait until he gives the roll. That's where you're going to get all of these mods that I've talked about. If you do not have them yet, is from the Gunsmith, waiting for him to sell them on the bottom of his inventory, or just buying enough packages and getting lucky and getting it. Other than that, I'm just running Perpetration, which doesn't matter too much. Specials Finisher is nice, just in case I could not get my Izanagi ammo back quick enough. I can use some of my super to get my Izzy back. And then, of course, a Resilience mod there. My stat spread, again, isn't exactly what I want, but I mean, 50-50 on these two stats right here is about best I can do currently. So that's what I recommend you guys at least is try for a minimum between 50 on each of these two stats. The other stats really do not do anything at all in this build. The resilience and mobility is definitely what you want to get up there. If you can get 100 of both, you're going to have such a crazy, amazing build right there. Hopefully one day I will get up to that. But there you go. That is the build right there. That's pretty much everything I need to talk about. As for specs, make sure to put boss spec on your steel sibyl. I didn't talk about that. Boss spec on your steel sibyl. For your energy weapon, you're probably going to want a minor spec. Just help you get those extra kills there. That'll do it. If you guys enjoyed this video or you found it helpful at all, please make sure to hit that thumbs up button. It does help me out a lot. If you guys would like to see some more content of mine, make sure to smash that subscribe button. I make videos all the time on Destiny 2. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video. Spikes out.